Investment Committee today. Bryn Talkington, Courtney Gibson, Steve Weiss, and Joe Terranova. Let's get a check on the markets right now. Major averages extending their losses. The Nasdaq dipping below 12,000 and deep in bear market territory. We're now down more than 3% on the Nasdaq. S&P 500 actually flirted with the 4,000 level earlier in the session. We're now at 40.26, or down 2.35%. The Dow Industrial is giving up 500 points right now, or 1.5%. Yields hitting its highest level since November 2018, the 10-year sitting at 3.085%. And I guess the question is, how much has been priced in, whether it be stronger dollar, whether it be economic slowdown, whether it be a Fed rate hike tightening cycle. Joe Terranova, what do you think?
Yeah, it's interesting. All of the things that you mentioned, the fundamental contributions to the macro environment, I'm not sure how you get any degree of clarity as we move forward here over the coming days, the coming weeks, and really as we move into the heart of the summer. I think the right way to think about the market right now is how much speculative risk has been pared back. And I think obviously this morning we've seen a very aggressive sell-off in a lot of risk assets where you have not had the correction occur already. Some of the energy equities declining significantly, and you're actually seeing a significant sell-off in crypto. So I think the right way for investors to think about the environment right now is I think the risk to reward setup doesn't suggest that you're going in and you're being a seller, because I do think we've pulled back a lot of speculation. I just don't think when you look longer term, you could expect that you're going to gain clarity on the macro. If there's anything that's going to provide a bounce for the market, Melissa, I have to think it is buybacks. And I think because companies are now exiting the blackout window, having reported their earnings, I mean, companies have to be looking at the valuation, the decline in their stocks, and saying, okay, we're buyers here. So I think the setup for this week is one in which at some point you might be able to see a buyback bounce, sustainable over the long term. We'll see, but I think that probably sets up.
If that is the only catalyst in this market, Steve Weiss, is that convincing to you to be buying stock? I mean, Joe is basically saying there's no catalyst on the horizon that he can see except for the possibility that companies, even with large buyback plans, will choose to start exercising those buyback plans now.
Melissa, I'm still negative. I mean, that's the bottom line. We had a 40-year bull market in bonds. We had an unbelievable bull market in liquidity into the market. I mean, how many people actually in the market now remember when interest rates were normalized, when neutral meant 3 to 5% in interest rates instead of 0? So look, you know, what I just don't understand is how people believe that you can reverse, as I said, what's been a torrent of liquidity for almost 15 years is going to be dissipating in less than 6 months. So we're just not in a normal environment still. And has the market discounted enough of the bad news? Well, what I'd say is when we stop asking that question, when we stop dipping our toe in the water and say, let's buy a little because in 6 months we'll be okay. Then the dialogue goes, in a year we'll be okay. In 2 months you'll look back and regret not buying. When we stop having that conversation and realize that the world's just not in a great place, that Putin is still driving up inflation. We haven't even felt the embargo, the global embargo on Russian oil. That's going to drive inflation. It's going to work through the system. And then you've also got a very strong dollar to hit S&P earnings. So, no, we're not at a bottom. No, I wouldn't put money into the market, and I would just stay in cash. And, sure, cash is a depleting asset, but what's been depleting more? Cash at inflation of 8% or the market coming down at 20% top line and stocks going down 50 to 60? So there's no bottom yet. I still would rather see the turn before I start deploying capital.